Hello. Let me just adjust this for you. That's a bit better, I think. Hello. Well, we were going to go out, and the reason why I haven't gone out is unbelievable. It's too hot. Too hot. I got up, got dressed, got ready, got sorted, and went outside for about 5 minutes with Bodie just to sort of give him a cuddle and what have you, see the temperature. Oh my God, the sweat. I started leaking straight away, and I thought, there's no way I'm going to go walking. We was only going to go and walk. We've got some fields and what have you here. We're going to go and walk across them just for an hour, but no, it's too hot. Too hot for me, too hot for my dog. I think this heart condition makes me a bit warm, to be honest. But never mind, it is what it is. So it's a day in, really, or at least for the time being. We'll see what happens with the weather. We might get out. So I've made myself a Slurpee, so I thought you'd like to join me with a Slurpee. Cheers. Yeah, that's better. So I'm just having a Slurpee and just going to bleed into the day gently. So today I was going to mention my friend Martin on the Bimble, because bless him, he's been going through the middle just lately with family problems and what have you. And I do wish you well, Martin. You know, I'm always here for you if you ever need a chat. But I was going to take him along on a bimble with me in a kind of a spiritual way. He'd be bimbling beside me. But another day, Martin, we'd be there, won't we? You know, so that's fine. But I do wish you well with all your problems and what have you. I know you've had a lot on your plate the last sort of few months, and perhaps this is the end of it. Perhaps things will get easier. I said to Martin in a text message, I think I did. I said the last thing we lose is hope. That's the last thing. So we've always got hope. And hope to me became very important when I had cancer. And I ended up writing my book, which was Hope and Healing. Because we do have both of those working in conjunction with each other, but also separately. And the last of those things, really, to go is hope. We have hope until our last breath. We have hope until we have no more hope. No more life essence. Hope is important. And hope carries you through. It really does, you know. Of course it is, you know. I remember laying in bed in the hospital, and I was hoping against hope that I would get home soon, or for the weekend, or initially I was hoping that I was going to survive. I was hoping that I was going to recover. I was hoping that I wouldn't be in too much pain. I was hoping. So I had hope surrounding me, really. So while I was healing, there was hope and healing. And then, you know, when it came to it, I remember on the Friday, the guy was coming round, like the main sort of doctor or whatever. And I heard a couple of conversations, and he was just saying to people, what he wanted to do was clear the bloody beds. He said, how do you feel about going home today to somebody, you know? And this guy said, yeah, definitely. You know, I couldn't hear anymore, but, you know, that was fine. And then he went to somebody who I got chatting to in hospital. He wasn't, well, he said to him, how do you feel about going home this weekend? And this guy said, do you know what, I'm not confident. Now, I understand why. He had, they used to call it colostomy bag, but it's now called a stoma. And without, you know, putting too much on it, he had a few problems. And he just said, I'm not confident at the moment. You know, I need to get used to all this. You know, which is fine, bless him. And so he said, the doctor said, okay, I'll come and see you Tuesday and we'll see how you're doing. So he had the weekend and Monday and Tuesday. Anyway, it got round to me, and I'd already invented my lie, because I had my hope that he was going to say, because he didn't say it to everybody, but my hope was that he would say to me, how do you feel about going home? And I already had my lie, so anyway, he came along and he said, morning, and I said, all right. He said, how do you feel about going home today? And I said, I'd love to. I said, I'm ready to. And he said, good. He said, who have you got at home? He said, you need, obviously, quite a lot of care at the moment. And I said, yeah, I've got my girlfriend at home and she's a nurse and she can take as much time off as she needs. Both of those are a lie. I don't have a girlfriend. And if I did, she's not a nurse. So, very naughty, but, it is whatever. You do whatever you do, it's hope. And that's what I said to Martin anyway, the last thing we have is hope, It's also the first thing, and it's also the thing that carries us through, is hope. So have hope that your problems with your family improve to whatever extent they will. Some things are beyond our control and they only go so far as well. That's worth remembering, is that no matter what, you have all these aspirations, these dreams, these ideas, these thoughts, these opinions, whatever, but in life things only go as far as they're going to go, no matter what you interject or put into its place, or your hopes, your dreams, your fears, your worries, whatever, things go as far as they're going to go. And we have to be not happy with that. We have to accept that. So whatever happens, I hope that the end goal of what you're going through is a good solution all the way around. That's what I hope. So anyway, yeah, we're not doing a lot really. I was supposed to have carried on with a piece of art every single day last week, and I didn't. I was so tired every single day that I didn't bother. The only thing I did do last week on the Thursday is I decided I would go for a walk down my local fields, and I met my lovely friend Maureen on the way, so that was good. I didn't plan to meet her, and in fact I told her last time she was here that I plan to do a few walks down there, but I won't be calling for you because otherwise I would feel pressured into coming, and the reason why I won't be calling for you is I might do 5 steps, I might have 5 minutes there and say enough, I've got to go home, or I might be there for an hour, who knows. But when you have somebody else you sort of rely on, they expect you to do a certain thing. That's what I find, and I'm not in that position. I haven't been down my local fields for quite some time, in fact over a year, because mostly it's because of my heart. I run out of energy very quickly, also this ME or whatever it is, but I do run out of energy very, very quickly. And how it is it's like a car running out of petrol. It's going fine. You can go 70 miles an hour and you go along, and all of a sudden it splutters, and it comes to a stop. That's how I am. I don't get to a stage where I think, oh, I'm going to go back home. I feel so tired. I literally come to a stop, and I didn't want to come to a stop in the middle of the field. And there's no bench there. So anyway, I don't want people relying on me for any reason. So I said to her, I won't be calling for you. Anytime you see me walking past, if you want to join me, come and join me. That's fine. And we'll certainly have a chat. But I might be there 2 seconds. Might be. Who knows? So anyway, that's that. So I haven't done any art. Well, to speak of, I've done one background really, to be quite honest. But it's I'm not quite happy with it, so I need to redo part of it, and then we can start working on the whatever's going to be on the top, which I do know, but that's all for another day really. So we're finally in spring, finally, and it's wonderful. My neighbour at the bottom, we had a partial eclipse of the sun, and I went out to have a look at it. obviously you can't look at the sun, but you know, there's other ways that you can look at different things and what have you. And that's what I planned on doing. So I went out to have a look, and she was in the garden, and she said, would you like some glasses to look at the sun? And I said, oh, if I could borrow a pair. She said, I've got everybody a pair, bless her. So I think she went to some charity shop or whatever and grabbed like 20 pairs. So that was lovely of her. I thought it was really, really sweet to think of other people. That's always a nice thing. Nice to be nice. So I put them on and I was having a look, and my neighbour joined me, and she gave him a pair as well. So we all stood in the garden looking ridiculous, but who cares? It was great. To see that solar eclipse was wonderful. The next eclipse, I believe, is September, but that'll be a full eclipse. I think it's September. I should have done some research, really. But anyway, that's what I think. I'll come back to you on that at a later stage. So apart from looking at the eclipse, not doing any art, I haven't done a lot at all. I really haven't done a lot at all. My doctor has decided to start me on iron tablets again for 3 months to see if they make any difference whatsoever with the tiredness. They won't. Not being negative, but I've had 2 lots of iron tablets. That's 2 lots of 3 months, so 6 months in the last 18 months. And it hasn't made a jot of difference. I mean, perhaps they will this time, you know, perhaps they will. But anyway, I don't think they will. So I'll do that for 3 months, then we'll see what we're facing whenever. I haven't heard anything about the hernia operation yet. That'll come in its own time. And my heart is mostly okay. I've been having a few little palpitations, just a few little ones, which is sort of expected. I've got heart disease, so it's never going to be wonderful. But yeah, just little palpitations, nothing really to worry about, nothing that I'm overly concerned about at all. Otherwise I do something about it. I am on beta blockers, and that stops most of the palpitations. He used to stop all of them. So when I next see him, and I don't know when I'm due to see the consultant, but when I next see him, of course I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to suggest that they up the beta blockers to a slightly stronger tablet, or you know, more of a bigger volume tablet, because I'm on a tiny little tiny amount, but they do work. You know, they really work for me. I've ordered a couple of little bits. I know, for me bathroom. I cannot stop, can I? I have to stop because it's only one bathroom. I've got enough in there for about 3 bathrooms now. But it's just a couple of little bits, that's all. Just to finish it off. So I might or might not show you that if I can be bothered. But really that's about it. So really we're quite well. Both of us are quite well. I wish my sleep was better. Just lately I don't seem to be sleeping very well. I seem to go to sleep quite well, and then I wake up within about an hour, sometimes 2 hours, and I'm awake for a little bit, then I go back to sleep for an hour or 2, then I'm awake. And that's how I go through the night just lately. No reason why. But anyway, so what do we do about that? Well, we hope. We hope that things are going to get better. We always have hope. And that is the message of this video, really. We always have hope. No matter what, we have hope. Now, talking about somebody who doesn't have any hope, and that is King Charlie. No, I can't stand him. Never did like him as Prince Charles, so why would I like him as King Charles? He's an idiot. He always was, always will be. But I read a little thing today, whether it's true or what, but he's going to give up the throne in 2026, next year. He's waited all his life to get a job. He's got a job and now he's ill and he can't do it. So William will take over. So that's what the report said, is that currently Charlie is prepping William to take over. I don't like William either. They're all the same, you know. They're all WEF members, aren't they? World Economic Forum. Don't like all that stuff. They're far too rich. I think if we're skint in this country, then we need to get rid of the royal family. But if we don't want to get rid of them, because they've got billions, then why don't we stop paying them for 5 years? Right? Just don't pay them and put that money into the economy. And why don't we stop funding Ukraine? £300 million we're going to pay. Why don't we stop doing that? Why don't we stop funding China? Why are we sending 78 million or whatever it is in aid every year to China? Why are we doing that? China are rich. We need to stop doing that. And we need to stop doing the same with Pakistan. They sent a bloody rocket up to the moon and we're paying them, you know, some aid. And other countries as well, 4 other countries. We need to stop paying all this stuff out. There's no need in this country to attack the poor, the elderly, the ill. It's all the easy people that, you know, Starmer attacks. And it's a real shame. There's no need. That there's millions and millions, billions actually out there when we think about it. Just those 4 or 5 things I mentioned there would draw billions into the country. And just to end this video, it is the 1st of April. As I'm making this, tomorrow is the 1st of April, but obviously that's been cancelled now, April Fool's Day, because nothing could be more of a joke than Starmer and the Labour Party. Nothing. Anyway, let's hope that Starmer and his merry men do one pretty soon. Take care then, and we'll be back, hopefully outside, on a slightly cooler day. And until such times, be well. Ta-da.